What's going on, guys? I want to make this quick video to talk about the new BMKT Spec Explorer line that is coming out, shipping um, in April of 2024, but the pre-order is opening December 3rd, 2023 at 9 a.m. CST. So a few of you have asked me to make an overview video just to show off the knives themselves, talk about the handle thickness and things like that, and then do some size comparisons against some folders and other fixed blades in this same category. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start by talking about each different blade shape and just give a quick overview of them. So we have the drop point, we have the Bowie Tanto, and then we have the sheep's foot. Now the drop point, this particular one has the olive drab canvas micarta handle scale on it. It's got a adjustable full flat grind primary bevel with a flat ground swedge, my logo with FieldSpec 2024 on it, and then no branding, serializing, or anything on the other side. The only other branding or serializing or etching on this knife will be the blade steel, which these are the prototypes. So you see S35VN there, but the full production run will be Magnacut. So it will say Magnacut there. It's very nice. Hopefully that's giving you a good idea of the thickness. It's a little hard to get this angle right now, but there you go. Next up is the Bowie Tanto. This one has the media blasted and tumbled titanium. It's more of a dull gray. It almost looks bronze in some light, but the video is not really picking that up too well. The primary bevel is hollow ground, and the Tanto tip is flat ground. The swedge itself is also flat ground. And same thing with the branding, BMKT FieldSpec 2024. Nothing on the other side. And then the blade steel on the spine. And then lastly, the sheep's foot. This one has the brass scales on it that have been media blasted and tumbled. The primary bevel is hollow ground, and the swedge itself is flat ground. Now, just a note, if you're purchasing one of these knives with the brass scales, just be aware that it is a little bit more heavy than the other two options. Brass is just a heavier material. These knives have been skeletonized quite a bit to lighten them up. Here's a look at how the scales have been lightened up. This is a set of black canvas micarta. You can see the internal milling on those, really nice. Here's a look at the natural canvas micarta. So let's do some measurements of the knives as well. So I'm going to remove them. They're all the same measurements. So I'm going to remove two of them here and bring out the ruler. So overall length on all these knives is coming in at 7.31. Here we go. 7.31 inches. The blade length on them is 3.1 inch. The handle length is 4.1 inches. The overall thickness from this side of the scale to this side is 0.378 inches. The blade's thickness is my standard, which is 1/8 or 0.125 inches. So overall, just a really nice EDC size. Let's pull up the scale, and I'll show you the difference if I can. So first up is the titanium. So 97 grams for the Bowie Tanto in titanium. Let's do the brass and the sheep's foot. 131 grams. So quite a bit heavier. As I mentioned earlier, it is going to be heavier than the other options. Then the lightest option is going to be the micarta with the draw point blade at 68 grams. Now, when I first received these prototypes, I was pleasantly surprised at how light the draw point was with the canvas micarta. Just really, really nice and light. So let's pull out another one of these, and then let's do some size comparisons against some other knives. I have my collection here, so let's pull out the old standard Paramilitary 2. I'll try and line things up the best I can. You know what? Let's flop the knife that way. That might be able to line up a little bit better. So there is a comparison against the Paramilitary 2 from Spyderco. Let's do a Sapenza 21. Lots of people have these. Should say lots of knife collectors have them. It's hard to line these up. There you go. So that was a large Sapenza. Let's do a small Sapenza. There you go. Now let's do a couple fixed blades as well. So some of you have asked for comparisons against the EDC1. So here you are against the drop point EDC1. So similar handle size, but you get much more cutting edge. Here is the Bowie. So same thing, more cutting edge, but you get more, just about the same handle size, but you get more cutting edge. Now here is a favorite as well, another Canadian maker. You all know this one. The Scout. And speaking of Scout, let's do a size comparison against a Scout F as well. Well, that's a really good size up actually. So if you have a Scout F from Griffin Co. or Combat Beads, you'll know exactly the overall size of it. All right, now a special size comparison here. Let me get some of this put away. Let's bring out the Bowie Tanto. And I happen to have my Bowie Tanto handmade. So some of the photos I've taken makes it seem like the handmade is quite a bit larger than the production prototypes, but they're actually the same size. So just trick of the angles, I guess. The handmade is a little bit more customized, of course. We have bronzed titanium handle material. Then we have bronzed titanium pivot hardware as well, or scale hardware. Very nice. It is hollow ground as well. So let's show off the sheaths and what you receive when you purchase the knife. So of course you will receive the some documentation, so, a COA type card, a bunch of stickers. I love throwing all that in. And then you'll receive these beautiful Kydex. Well, that's not in camera at all. These beautiful Kydex sheaths. Best Tech does a really great job with their sheaths. Whoever makes them for them, they do a very good job with the retention. So let's go through the sheep's foot. You have a drainage hole. You have the thumb ramp, which really helps deploying, and then really nice retention. Same thing with the really nice. And on this drop point here, I've installed a ITP clip and in the pocket clip. They seem to work really well, and all pre-orders will receive one of these in the package as well. So the last thing that I want to talk about are some of the changes that will be happening from the prototypes here to the full production run. Not a lot is changing. The overall size, the dimensions, and the weight of things are not changing. Although the weight might change a little bit for one of the reasons I'll tell you in a second. But overall, the knives are primarily going to be the exact same, especially the drop point. Nothing is changing with the drop point except for some work on the handle material. So let's get into the handle material first, since I'm holding the drop point. So you'll see actually, let's look at a different one. It'll be easier to see. So you'll see the handle material chamfering that goes around the knife itself. What I'm doing with the full production run is I'm increasing this finger choil area to be the same angle as the rest of the chamfering. Now the reason for that is going to be a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more ergonomic for the user when they're holding it. Your two fingers go right there, but also for retention in the Kydex. So that will be happening with all three handle material options, the micartas, the titanium, and the brass. Now when I say micarta, I do mean the olive drab as well as the black and natural. The other change that is happening is only happening to the bowie and the sheep's foot with the hollow grinds. So hollow grinds are difficult to get right. As a maker who's been hollow grinding for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years now, I've worked out the kinks on how I like them. And how I like them is typically with a plunge grind that happens very quick. So you might be able to see here, if it will focus, that plunge grind is more the plunge line itself, to where the plunge starts its radius is about right there. I am pushing that back. And the reason for that is if you start your plunge radius right here, you are affecting the overall edge thickness at the heel. And again, this might be hard to show off in video, but you can kind of see even on the prototype right there, because that radius makes it more difficult to sharpen because it's actually thicker than the rest of the bevel. And over time, you will start to see half of a smiley face happening right there. Again, it might be hard to see on the video, but that is one of the improvements that I'm working on that will be made to the full production run. And same thing with the hollow grind on the sheep's foot. Actually, you can see it better there. So again, that plunge radius is being pushed back, much like how the drop point is. So this will increase longevity of the knife because you're not going to have a thick edge at the heel of the cutting edge. And it's just going to stay how it's supposed to look as you sharpen the knife multiple times. And then lastly, the last change is only to the sheep's foot, and that is an increase to the tip of the swedge. So this swedge right now terminates right there. On the full production run, the swedge is going to terminate right there. So it's going to start at the same thickness and gradually get a little bit thicker until it terminates there. And I will have photos on the website, drawings of these detailing all those changes. So lastly, let's talk about pricing. So I've tried coming in really competitive with the pricing. These are coming in at with Magnacut. A very good steel from my experience. So it's amazing to be able to bring these knives in the production run for just about $200. The retail cost for the titanium and brass is going to be $220, and the micarta variants will be $200. So I'm really excited to bring in the knives at that price point. I think it's very competitive. And then when you do pre-order, I'm giving $20 off. So the titanium and brass will be $200, with the micarta options being $180. Now, I'm also including the free ITP clip with any pre-orders as well. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that was a decent overview for you. I hope to see you on the pre-order day. Send me a DM or an email through the website if you have any questions. Leave a comment on the video as well. Thank you so much.